Hey team, we are back again, and we are continuing with our study of the card pattern. Today I want to take on this challenge right here, the blog preview card. And you're going to see that it's a lot of the same stuff, but there are some interesting bits in here, so hopefully it doesn't become too boring. Okay? To get started, we're going to go in here, download some assets. So downloading the starter code, downloading the Figma file. This is a free plus challenge, so everybody should have access to the Figma file, which means that everybody should download it and poke around. Okay. Taking a quick look at my solution, it's over here. We can check it out. It's looking pretty okay, I think. Right? There's always that slight shifting that's going on, but nothing that I would be afraid of putting in front of a designer. Okay. And this is what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get that done. We are going to go, this is the Figma file. I'm going to jump over here. And just like before, we are going to move. I'm currently in my learning folder. Okay. We're going to move that download file, which was blog preview main. Okay. Right. I need a target. I forgot the dot, just like this. Okay. So now I have that. I can uninstall it. So XVF blog preview, just like this, and CD into blog preview. Excellent. Okay. At this point, we are going to set up Git. So Git init that so that we get it. Git add all the things. Git commit, just like before. -m. Chore, spell it right, initial commit. Done. Okay. At this point, we can open that into VS Code, just like this. Apparently, I had some old stuff going on there, so we're going to get rid of all that. But here we go. Okay. Very similar setup to before. So we have the design files with some active states, mobile states. Okay. And you'll notice with this one, once we get into it, it's hard to see right now, but the fonts change size on the mobile and desktop view. Okay, on the small and large views, we're gonna have to take care of that. That's something that we're gonna do. We have the fonts, but we're gonna use Google fonts for this, and the illustration, the avatar, it's all in here. It's all good. The index file with all that good stuff, the style guide, all that good stuff. We are going to do this. Okay. As always, opening that into Chrome. So open-a, Google Chrome index. Okay. So here it is, all on a single line because that's how it goes. Let's go clean it up. Back into index. Getting rid of this and this. Commenting this out because we should leave something in here. Okay. Go and add your name. Up here, get rid of the styles. They are gone. Brilliant. I should not have saved it because you see how it in one lines all of the text. Kind of miserable. Let's not do that yet. But we have this. Okay. We're going to add some markup. So let's grab it all. Okay. And let's start from the outside going in this time. Bring up that command palette and find wrap with abbreviation. And now we're going to do stuff. So we have main. You see it pop in there. It's all good. From there, we're going to go article.card, just like we have in the past, right? No magic there. And then we're going to add a div with, we need the arrow, right? We need the bracket, .card underscore content, like this, okay? And that should be it for this part. Okay, we're going to hit enter. Nothing really changes. Right above it, I'm going to add in my picture. So here's picture dot card underscore image, card double underscore image, like this. And the image, again, picture, because I'm thinking ahead. Even though this is an SVG, I might want to do art direction, or my designer might want to do art direction where they change the image based on the width. That's a thing that you can do here. It's not always about responsiveness. Sometimes it's about how it looks at different sizes and not just resolution. So find that image. It's in assets, images, and it is this illustration. Done. Okay. We got that part. Let's move down. So right here, we have this learning bit. Now, I'm going to wrap that up. So bringing up Emmet again, I'm going to make it a P, and I'm going to call this card label, which we technically won't use today, but having it in there makes sense. And then I'm going to call it label. Okay. So that's all in there. It's all really good. We can hit enter on that. The second part, we're going to set that as time. Time is the right thing for this. And you'll notice that it adds date time. So let's hit enter. Date time is a timestamp. So that's going to be 2023-12-21. Okay. That's ISO time, ISO 8601. Okay. That's what that is. So don't fight me. That's how this should be. Okay. But this is a time block. So let's make it time. That makes sense to me. Right here, we have the heading. Okay. Wrapping it up into an H2 and an A tag. Okay. Now we don't really care where this goes. So we're going to get that number sign in there. I don't know why I did quotes. It doesn't really matter, but there we go. Now we have it as a link. Okay. This part here is just a regular paragraph, but we can give it a name as well. So p dot card description seems like the right thing. If we were doing a lot of BEM classes, this is how we would do it. And this last one, okay, the name. Do we want the name to be in this block? Today I want to break it out. So below the div, okay, below the div, I'm going to add footer. And I'm going to give this card underscore double underscore footer, just like this. Hit enter. And inside of there, I'm going to have two things. The first is going to be that image. It's going to be this avatar, okay? So we go assets, images, and image avatar, okay? That part is done. Right next to it, because I want to, we're going to add that p tag, and it's going to have this text, which I can move down or copy and paste into the right spot, and then wrap with a p tag, okay? We are not concerned about having a class on this, but I mean, you could if you wanted to, right? You could have it as like card underscore underscore user or something like that. Today we don't need it. Here we are, okay? So very similar to what we've done, but this time we're breaking out an extra piece. And this is so that we can have good spacing, okay? In here, if we go and look really fast, can I bring this up? It just doesn't want to do it anymore. But sometimes, there it is. Okay, there's 24 here, and you can see that this one lights up as the same. And then if we click in, these ones are all 12. So having it as 3 separate pieces makes our spacing easier. That's why I'm doing this, okay? Moving on, we have our markup. We can go over to Chrome and take a look at it. Did I not save it? Apparently I did not. There we go. Let's try it again. Good. Okay, that's it. That's the whole thing. And we are in really, really good shape. Now, let's commit that really fast. Git add dot git commit dash m. This is a feature which is the card, like this. Add markup. Okay, adding the markup. Brilliant. Let's go and get some styles. Now, same as before, new file, style.css. You can put this wherever you want, so long as you link it up to the original index file. Again, we don't have a build system, so we need to do it ourselves. We go in here, it's a link of type CSS, and our file name lines up, okay? I don't want to bore you with this too much, so I have done the thing that I thought I would never actually do, which is I'm going to paste some styles in, okay? Because we've already seen a lot of this in previous videos, okay? I've done this several times now, and going through and explaining it doesn't really help you. Okay. So the flow control for vertical spacing, the challenge wrapper to position it in the center, so that we can just make the card work, right? And then we have all of our styles in here. Okay. So we have our colors. Where did the colors come from? Well, they are over here. And if you downloaded the file, they are over here. Okay. So there's our styles. We have our spacing guide. We have our typography. And the key here, the thing that they don't show in the typography is that there are two different sizes. Okay. So if we go back, you're going to see that we have the spacing, we have the radiuses. I don't know why I did it this way. I prefer to have this as small and extra small. Doesn't really matter. There's a little extra bit here on the label. Okay, that's what that extra small size is. Okay, but jumping back, we have two sets of presets. We have the large size and the small size. Different sizes, all good. Our line height, 1.5, because we do it unitless. It's easier that way. Okay. Our font family that we're about to grab in a second, and our maximum width, which plays into this challenge wrapper. Okay. Again, not a lot of magic here. So if you want to pause the video and type this out, you can. But I am going to move on. Okay. So those are there. I'm going to start adding some defaults. Okay. Which is, before I forget, I should probably add the font, right? I almost forgot that part. So let's go to the style guide and command click on this one, which will take us right over here. We can get the font. Enter was from the previous video. We just want Figtree. Get the embed code. One value, Roman only. We aren't using italic fonts here, so you can save a little bit, but we do have a couple different weights. So let's do that. Copy all of this code to our HTML, right? We've done this before. No magic. Brilliant. This one here, we bring it over to our styles. I want to put it before the composition, okay? And I'm going to change this to body, okay? It is so weird to me that this, unless my eyes are tricking me, this is not a serif font, okay? It's weird like that. So the fact that they have serif here is very weird, but dash family sans, just like this. The weight, so the default weight on this is different, okay? It's 500, and that is right here, medium, okay? If it was regular is 400, medium is 500, semi-bold 600, bold 700, okay? All these numbers kind of play together with these things, but here we are, okay? There's also an extra bold, so we are going to be using 800 at some point. We will figure that out, okay? For now, we have it done right there. We need to add in our very basic reset, okay? So right here, we go and grab that. Box sizing border box, yes. Margin 0, padding 0, just like this. Save it, go underneath the body. Now we start adding our globals. So here's H2. H2 has a color, okay? We didn't add the default color, so we need to figure that out. But let's do this first. I just typed it out the long way. Look at that. That's just silly. I could have just went like this. Dash. Shortcuts for the win, okay? But dash gray, and that is 950. It is the darker gray, okay? Then we have the font size, and the font size becomes a very interesting question because we have text preset. It will be the large one, okay? So we can just do that for a second. I'm going to come back to that for reasons, okay? Font weight 800. Is that right? Let me go and check, okay? Click on this, click into here. It is extra bold, Yeah, it says extra bold. So yes, 800. Okay. Just like that. Nice and chunky. Okay. Below that, we have time. Time is also a color. Okay. So this one is gray 950 as well. We do that. And font size, that is dash dash text preset 3. Just like this. Again, we have to figure something out here. This feels very sloppy to me, okay? But right here, okay? Everything else, let's go add the colors to the body. So we have the background color, which is dash dash yellow, okay? And the color, which is gray 500, okay? Dash dash gray 500, just like this. I think I have everything else. Line height. I forgot line height. Dash dash line preset 1. Okay. And the font size. That's what I'm missing. See, I'm missing a couple things. Dash dash text preset 2 is what we would normally use there. But again, I don't want to do this with these sizes. So this is mainly just to show what's going on, which is to transform all of our text. And you can see some of those colors starting to come through. It's looking really good. We need to go and change this one. We are going to get there, okay? Now, the responsive sizing, I want to take care of that first because that is actually the easier part for me, okay? We have two options. One would be to go up here, and right below here, we do dash dash text preset 1, and set it to dash dash text preset 1 large. And then below it, we do at media for something like min width, okay, of, I don't know, 500 pixels, right? And then copy this like this, paste it in. So now text preset 1 is text preset 1. Oh, wait, this one should be small. Sorry, getting them backwards. Okay, we could do this, and then we could use text preset 1 everywhere. So we don't have to worry about large and small. We take care of it right here, but it will create a bit of a hard jump. Okay, and you don't really want that. So my advice is back into the browser. Let's open a new tab and go Utopia.fy. Okay, and we land here. You can do some amazing stuff here. They have all of these tools for type grids and spacing grids. What we want today is just clamp, okay? And it allows us to go from one number to another responsively, okay? So it's going to do some work to create this for us, and then we can just use this this variable, okay? We need to start out with our sizes. Now, the sizes are 375 as our minimum, okay? These are pixel sizes, and 432. Now, where did I get these from? Well, if we jump back to the Figma file, into the designs, this card here, the mobile card, is 327 plus 24 plus 24, because that is always going to be our smallest size, okay? That's where we expect it to be. So when it hits 327 plus 24 plus 24, which is 375, I could have just clicked on the mobile like this, 375, then that's going to be our small size. And as a point of interest, this one is 384 plus 24 plus 24 is 432, okay? So we always leave a little bit of space on there just as a matter of practice, okay? That might bite me in the long run, but for the moment, we are going to do that. So these are our two sizes, and then we do our sizes. So right here, our presets are 24 pixels. Sorry, the big one is 24 pixels, just like this. And then down here, the minimum for the preset 1 was 20, okay? So it's a very gradual sort of thing, but we're going to do it. Right here, preset 2, the small was 14, and I think we're going down to up to 16, so that's good. And then right here, the small was 12 for preset 3 and up to 14. It's cool that you can do that, right? You can actually see how big the transition is. But for us, we just want these like this. And it will create those down here for us. We could set it to pixels if we want, okay? I might just leave it as rem. That feels right to me. If you're doing container queries, you can do it that way. It works either way, okay? I'm going to leave it as viewport. And then I'm going to change this to text preset. Oh, I've used it before. Look at that. Boom. Okay. We need to change some things inside of here, but for now we can copy this, go back to our code, and instead of this media query, we paste this in. Now we need to get rid of the extra root. That's not going to help us. But now we have this. And if we ever need to go back, we can just follow this link. So they actually give you a way to help yourself if you find that there's bugs in your code. Okay. I want to fix these. Okay. So I'm going to grab this and this right here, multiple cursors for the win. Excellent. Okay. We're going to set up these variables. It's going to be text preset 1 large. Okay. We can do that here. So this is going to be, I have these backwards again, small to large, small, small. I need to change these numbers. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 2, this is 3, and it should just work. So now, if I change this to 1 and this to 2 and this to 3, now I should just be able to use these, okay? There is some red. What is going on? I seem to have an extra thing here. 2 seconds. It's saying that I'm missing right here, I think. Excellent. Okay. Somehow I got rid of an extra parentheses. That's very weird. So you might have to debug just a little bit. But now I can go down here and instead of preset 2 large, right? I can get rid of this, okay? So I can use that and back to the card, refresh it. Doesn't look like anything's changed, but if I bring up my responsive mode, okay, you're going to see that at some point the font starts to shrink down and then it stops, okay? It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. That is amazing to me, okay? The fact that that can just work without any sort of media queries or anything like that, I love that, okay? Back into it, okay? Let's keep going because we have a few extra things to get in. Actually, just one for this. We need our image and picture, okay? And we've done this before. This is display block and max width of 100%, just to be sure that everything is buttoned up, okay? And you'll notice that it collapsed that because the image is now block, okay? Excellent. Let's go and commit all of that. So right here, lots of stuff. If we look, we added the font and we haven't committed the styles yet. So git add dot, git commit dash m, style, add globals and tokens. Okay. Brilliant. Moving on. We are into it. Okay. At this point, we have our 2 compositions, but I need one more. And the one that I need is for this, okay? This block here has the image and the text side by side. And we need a way to control that. We could put it on the footer and we could just go display flex and do the thing and all that. But since we're using compositions, since we're using Cube CSS, let's create a new composition for this too, okay? This, I'm going to call it cluster because that's the way that I learned it, okay? And really fast, I'm not sure if this is the real cluster, but we're going to go flex wrap, okay? Just in case it gets way too small. That's why we need that. We need a gap, okay? So we're absolutely going to do that. That gap is going to be -- space 150, but we want to be able to change this, right? So let's go over here and set it as a default var, okay? -- cluster space, just like this with a comma. And now it'll default to the 150, but if we ever needed to change cluster space, we can do that, okay? And then here, justify content, flex start, I think is the right one. At least for now, we could just go start and align items center. Could we make these variables too? Absolutely, okay? And I strongly recommend that. For this, it's not super important and I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to skip that for now. But yes, you absolutely can, okay? Right here, we have our 3 compositions. We should use them, okay? So right here on main, we have class. It is our challenge wrapper, just like this. On the card, we have flow. The image is fine. The content is also flow. Did I need it anywhere else? I don't think so. But down here on the footer, we have cluster, okay? Save it, go and check it out, refresh. Everything's starting to tighten up, okay? This is really good. Size of the image is wrong. This image is not going proper, but things are starting to take shape, and this is a good thing, okay? Let's go and do that really fast. So git status, git add dot, git commit -m. It is a style, add cluster composition, okay? Brilliant. We're back to it right over here in the styles, okay? So now we start to add our card styles, okay? And just like before, we aren't going to need much because a lot of our globals have already done this for us. We do need background color. Yes, it is white, but I do want to use our tokens, okay? We need a border radius, which is radius large, okay? It has a border. It's the first one that has, but this color is the gray 950, okay? So -- gray 950. For some reason, when it's shorthand, it doesn't add the variable. We can do that. Brilliant, okay? We have the box shadow, okay? So box shadow is interesting. If you go and look at this way over here, okay, on this container, we scroll down to find the stroke is there, the effects, the drop shadow. It's weird that it opens directly, but here it is. We have 880 and black. Black. We didn't add black anywhere, and it didn't show up in our design system. I feel like this would be a good conversation for the designer. It's like, are you sure you want black? Or do you want the gray 950? Because they are just so close, right? You can kind of see the difference, especially if you zoom way in. This is slightly lighter, but does it matter? I don't know, okay? For now, I am going to leave it as black, which means that I need to add a new thing, okay? We're going to duplicate this. We're going to go black. I'm going to set this to 0, just like this. Come back down and figure it out, okay? So horizontal was 8 pixels, okay? 8 pixels, which we totally could use design tokens for this, but it's a one-off, okay? So I'm not going to get too worried about that right now, but var -- black, there it is, okay? Last thing we need is padding. Let's go and get that. That is space. I don't know why it went there. I hit tab too early, okay? Space 300, save it, go back, take a look. Everything's starting to take shape. It looks really good. Okay, let's keep going. Inside of here, we want to control our flow space. Okay, I think did we set a sensible default? Oh, we totally did. So right now we don't actually need to do anything. But if we had set that to 1M or something like that, then we would have to add a control. And we don't want to add it to the card. I guess we could, but you might have to add it to card space star or something like that. For now, it's the same, which is good on me because I actually forgot that. Let's keep going. Image right here. We're going to add that border radius, and it's going to be dash dash radius. Whoops, too many. Radius small. Okay. Overflow hidden, just like before, so that we can see the magic happen. Okay. And to make sure that everything is where we need it to be, the image has a height of 200 pixels all the time. Doesn't matter whether it's mobile or bigger, right? Desktop, if that's what you want to go with. It's 200 all the time, so we're going to do that. Width is 100%. Object fit is cover. Done. Okay. Keep going. Dot card content. Now the card content does change. Okay. So inside of here, we're going to do flow space and set it to dash dash space 150. Okay. Which is going to bring all of these three things closer together. Nice. Actually, all four of them, right? I forgot about the learning. But bringing them all together, we can keep going down here, scroll it up into view just a little bit. We have the link, okay? So dash card underscore content A, and you'll notice that I'm not embedding these inside of card content. I could, okay? But again, be cautious, be smart about those choices, okay? So text decoration none, and color is inherit, okay? And this is important. We want inherit so that it picks up on the nice dark black. But we do have a hover in here, so let's go and add that. At hover, comma, at focus. Oh, I forgot the colon, just like this. And the color is now dash dash yellow, okay? So now I can start to get that really nice highlighting. We're going to come back to this in a second, but for different reasons, okay? Card footer. Let's wrap this part up, okay? So the color on the card footer is dash dash gray 950, okay? We have our font weight, font size. Our font size on this one is fixed all the time. I don't know if they missed it in design or not, but for this one, it is text preset 3 large all the time. It's not variable like the other ones, okay? So we fix it. And then finally, font weight 800. Done, okay? So now we can go and look at this, and everything is looking really, really sharp, okay? It's all starting to come together. We do need a few things for the image, so let's go get that. And I feel like that can just be right here. Width of 32, height of 32, border radius of 50%, okay? This is a weird one because it's already a circle, but I have a feeling that somebody else might come in here and not do a circle, right? They might have forgot that step. And so making sure that it always stays a circle makes sense to me. In that same regard, we're also going to do object fit, not overflow, cover, okay? Just to dial it in, right? That's what we want, okay? And now everything is done except for the label, okay? So commit really fast. Git add dot git commit dash m style. This is the card, add card styles. Okay. Done. We need to take care of the label. And then we are pretty much done, right? Like there's only one question after that. So let's get the label done. Right down here, dot label. And we're going to set up some stuff. So background color is yellow. Okay. That's done. Color is -- gray 950, just like this. Font size. Yeah, font size is our preset 3. Okay. So text preset 3. And that way it stays variable, right? It takes care of itself. Font weight of 800, just like this. Padding. So padding has a bigger left and right space than it does top and bottom. So we need to do this in 2 steps. The first is space 50, just like this. And because of how this works, I need to add the var and go space 150. Okay. That's going to do that. Border radius, just like this. We are cruising along. It is -- radius extra small. And let's go take a look. Okay. There it is. Actually, it's not, right? I mean, it's huge. We need to make sure that the width is fit content. And at that point, now there it is. Okay. So let's go check it really fast. And then I want to touch on one more thing. So I'm going to open this folder. Here it is. And into the designs, the desktop design is what I want. Just like the other videos, I'm going to use CleanShot X. Okay. Let's crop it down really fast. So this goes here and this goes over here, and crop it and pin it. That way we have it, and it should be 100% up here, so that when we go back and view this at 50% opacity, we can position this almost bang on. There it is. Okay. Very nice alignment. Everything looking really, really good. Okay. The only other thing that I want to talk about is a question that they didn't cover, which is in the preview, they had it so that just the text, they had the little pointer finger over top of the text, but sometimes you might want the whole card to be that way, right? So the quick and easy way to do that is to go up to card and go position relative, and then down to our link. And right here after the hover, we go and before and after. It doesn't matter. Okay. Could be either, but content, set it to an empty string so that it's always there. Position absolute, inset 0. And hopefully this should just work. So if I refresh this, now everything works, and the hover state still works as well. There's a problem with this. Okay. I've done the ultra simple way. It is not the most accessible way. So following Hayden Pickering, okay, he has a site called Inclusive Components right here. Let's jump back to the start. So inclusivecomponents.design. And if you scroll down, the very first one is cards. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Is cards, where he goes through and in detail, he talks about how to set this up in a way where you can still have the entire card selectable, but then be able to select over text and copy and paste it. Because right now we can't do that. Okay. So if I drag this away, I just get the link. I don't have any way to select the text. So not entirely accessible, but I did want to show this as a way of leading you to Hayden's very good site, where he talks in depth about how to make all of this work. Okay. There it is. Let's go and commit one more time, and then we will wrap it up. So git status like this, git add dot git commit -m. It was a style for the label. Okay. Add label styles. Seems like the right message. Okay. Git log --1 line --reverse. We started with our code. We added the markup, added the globals. This time I copy and pasted a lot of the globals to save us some time, but there were still some things in there that we had to do. Okay, so if we go back to the code, way up here, we still had to figure out how to make our fonts responsive. We had the right sizes, but going from one to the other, we had a choice to make. And I chose to use Utopia.fy, which is an awesome set of tools. Very, very worth your time to learn it. Okay. From there, we went down and added to our compositions. So we added some global styles. And right here, we added a new composition, the cluster. The only reason for the cluster is to create a row. Okay, so to put these things side by side. Okay, very handy that way. Then we added our card syntax. Okay, and again, we didn't do a lot here. We tend to stay with the variables. There's a lot of variables in use, and then down here, variables again, some controls around the image, and some spacing. Okay, so we kind of take care of it. A little bit around the link, the decisions. If you want to do this, go and read that article from Hayden. Okay, it is awesome. Just do not send this up to production without reading that article, so that at least you can speak to what you're doing. Okay. Some footer stuff, and yeah, we did break out the footer into its own thing. So sometimes you follow the pattern, and then you make slight alterations. And this feels like a smart alteration to me, while staying within the scope of the original pattern. Having the card, having the picture, having the content, right? It makes sense to me to break this part out. And yes, footer is allowed inside of an article. So in case it's your first time seeing that, that is perfectly legal. Okay. What else did we do? We wrapped up by looking at the label. To get that all into place, did the comparison. It looks absolutely perfect. If we go over here and resize it, everything just kind of falls into place. Okay. The image is responsive. The text is responsive. Everything is looking really, really sharp. Okay. That's it. That wraps up this version of the card. Okay. Did you find something interesting in here? Something that surprised you? That same question as always. Please hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Absolutely tell me what you didn't like. I want to hear those conversations, right? You are not going to hurt my feelings with that. If you come at me and say, I didn't like anything about the way that you structured it. It's like, okay, let's have that conversation. Okay. I think those are very real conversations to have. As always, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.